Here she is.
When she got home, she forgot who I was, I think, so.
Yeah. And what's her name?
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret. And what do we call her?
Vicky.
Vicky. All right, Vicky. Now did you have her in here working her, or were you working her on the trail?
I took her up the hill, up the mountain here.
Okay.
Back up the state park right here.
Okay. Now you got to tell me what she's doing, because I don't know what's what.
She's stepping up into a running walk there.
Okay.
And for her, she's pretty simple. She listens pretty good when she steps up like that and then walk back. It's just a bump on the reins.
Now, if you want her to walk out, like do that running walk where she's actually moving, will she maintain that, and is it fairly smooth?
I just give her a little squeeze. Just ask her for just a little more. And you can do it just by subtle cues, just picking the reins up just a little bit, or even just if you're out on the trail and she's doing just a little dog walk, you just give her just a little gentle squeeze with the leg, and she'll pick up her pace just a little bit.
Okay. Because Mom rides a lot with other gaited horses, and they book it. I've ridden with them a couple times, and you'd think that the pace they were going would be a full-out trot on a normal horse, and they're just walking.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the nice part about the mountain horses is that they will actually, you can ride them with just about any breed of horses.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like riding with Tennessee Walkers because a lot of those have a longer stride to
right.
them, and so they just walk out too fast.
Yeah.
And of course, the Tennessee Walker people don't like riding with the real slow horses.
It messes up their horses.
Hold their horse back all day long.
Yeah, and getting them ticked.
Yeah.
Well, Mom's best friend that she does go with has walkers, so that gives you an idea of the pace that Mom's interested in knowing if she can do without, you know, she doesn't want to have to feel like she's pushing a horse all the time. If she gets into the swing of it, will she keep up is the real question.
Yeah, and this little horse is so naturally gaited that you can do transitions and not even, I mean, all of a sudden you got more speed, but you didn't do anything.
Okay.
You just sat there and rode it.
Okay.
But she's a good horse to take out by herself. She's just likes to go by herself.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we sold a little mare, a horse that was exactly the same type of disposition as this little girl.
Yeah.
And she had a little spice to her. You know, it didn't take anything. And she was just up and wanted to go into the gate.
Okay.
The way this little horse is, and people would try her, and she'd pick right up in the gate, and I think she would scare some people.
Oh, because they weren't ready for that motion.
They weren't ready for that. You know, because they're usually you're going that fast on a trot horse, you're all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, finally we had a lady that really came in, fairly novice rider. I mean, she'd ridden a lot, but nothing, just some old quarter horses and stuff.
Right.
And anyway, she came over. She took our lead lesson program for a month with this little mare, and really got to know the horse, and the horse got to know her. And I'll tell you, that's one of the happiest horse ladies.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get a good click, man, it goes well. Now, can you?
Sometimes it's just not instantaneous.
Yeah.
But it just clicks you. Sometimes, like this little horse here, I'm going to say it's one that isn't just going to walk up to somebody and say, "You're my buddy."
Yeah.
Take me, like some horses will. She's one that she wants to get to know you. And once she does, she's just a sweetheart. She'll come to you out of the pasture whenever she sees you, and just that way.
Yeah. Now, can you show me her doing the faster walk that you were talking about?
Oh, or just moving up a little bit?
Yeah. Okay.
So this is kind of intermediate gait on her.
Right.
Gait through a hole.
So you sit pretty deep in the saddle when you're riding them at the gate.
Pardon?
You seem to need to sit fairly deep in the saddle when you're doing the gait.
And you can see my stirrups are
You put them forward.
about a notch longer than what they should be.
Yeah.
And so I'm just riding it. You don't pick yourself up. You actually just put your heels down
And sit into it.
That shifts your weight to the back of the horse. It makes it easier for him to gait.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what kind of silly stuff was she doing when you got her back that you said that they'd messed her up a bit while she's been away?
Oh, she didn't want to give to the bit.
Okay.
So she was putting a lot in her hand, which was totally out of character for her.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that she was being on the defensive side because the people who were riding were obviously in her mouth.
Okay. Yeah.
She was being defensive about the bit. And now she's just fingertip.
Okay. And what type of bit did you say again?
This is a Chedwick.
A Chedwick.
It's like a snaffle. It's a snaffle bit.
Mm-hmm.
And just has a really, really light curve action to it.
Okay.
You can ride her in a regular snaffle,
Okay.
but I don't recommend it with these horses. Unless you're doing a lot of riding, you really just know the horse, because that little bit of a curve action helps them get their head set just a little bit and rock them back.
Okay.
So, it's not that, there's people that show these in Western all the time, but, just regular snaffles on that.
Okay.
You can't be ridden in it, and I've ridden her with this regular snaffle, but it's a little harder to get your head set back, to get her rock back and back in, so.
Okay. And she knows to pivot fore and hind and side pass and those things?
So you can see, she swishes her tail.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because she's angry or anything. She just says, she always does what you ask her to do when she does that.
Okay.
But she just said, well, I don't really like to do that.
Okay.
You tell me. Girl. Very good. And I imagine that the people that had her this last weekend, they took her to the ocean. And I imagine they more than likely had her down on the beach just going as fast as they could on her.
Oh.
So.
That's not, yeah, the intent or interest.
When they told me they were going to take her to the beach, I thought, well, that's great. That'll be a new experience for her, and we'll see how she reacts, because some horses get a little zingy.
Yeah, with the wind and the sounds, yeah.
Apparently that didn't bother her in the least. So.
Okay. Now, if, like, when you're training her something new, and she just gets frustrated, she's not picking up what you want, what is her reaction? Is it just the tail swishing, or does she flick her head?
It's the tail swishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because you know how sometimes if you pressure a horse to the point where they're frustrated, they don't quite know it, and some of them will just go, that's it, whereas others will, just kind of say, I'm trying, but I don't know what it is you want.
Exactly, and that's kind of the way she is. Tail swish is normal with her. You probably wouldn't notice it as much, but she's got such a huge tail on her.
Yeah.
When she swishes, she'd take notice, but
Okay.
she's really not a horse. She has no buck in her, no rear in her. I mean, none of that sort of stuff. So that's why, you know, I won't even show a horse to anybody that has that going on. That's just not what we sell.
No. Okay.
Worst case scenario that you can get with her is she's going to want to move out a little quicker, but she's also very controllable and
She has brakes.
colored walk.
Okay.
With these guys, when you're riding them, keep your hands down low, especially with her. With her conformation, you know, really lends itself to keeping your hands down low on her. Sometimes you'll get a longer necked horse that you'll have to have your hands just a little higher.
How is she with? Can I get you to like dismount and mount and see how she stands for those? Because obviously that's one of the hard things on Mom's back is making sure that a horse stays really still.
Yeah, that's one good thing about her. And she has to do this because we do a lot of trail clearing, so I'm on and off her back.
Right. Yeah.
And so it like you can see,
she stands.
She has to be trained to get on and off because.
How is she if you take her up to something and stand up on it? Because obviously Mom's short like me. In fact, she's I think another inch shorter than I am.
Yeah, I think we had a. Yeah, I've done that. I do that. Every once in a while I get lazy in there, so there's a big rock right there. And I think the first time, last people who were over here, I think they had to use a mounting block.
Okay. And how tall is she?
She's 14.3.
14.3. Okay.
She'll just about do anything you ask her to do.
And
there's not. I haven't found anything out in the trail that really even gets her excited at all. So.
Okay.
You can see how excited she is here about.
Yeah, she says, yeah, this is a good mountain block. I'll take a hay bale anytime.
You had breakfast already. Yeah, you had breakfast already.
Yeah, now that's going to wad up your bit. Good girl.
Teach them to back up one step at a time.
Yeah.
One step per bump. Working out in the trail, the last thing you want to do is have one
back off the edge.
Move backwards on you.
Yeah.
And, when I trim a trail, I need to back up to get into my business. And I usually ride when I'm riding out the trail. I'm not neck reining them, but I'm riding like this. And so usually all it takes is just a little. You don't have to swing your arm out to get her to turn, just using your fingers. I mean, just
okay.
Gentle touch, so.
And that's the split rein.
If she doesn't like somebody and they give her a bad time, I had one guy came over and tried her, and he was just tugging on her face all over the place, and she was just being so patient. And finally she said, no, I won't go.
Oh, she just stopped and planted her feet? Okay.
This guy's thumping on her and everything else. No, I'm not going, she says.
So if she really gets perturbed, she'll just plant. Okay.
If she's got somebody that, that really, and this guy was a novice.
Okay.
He must have been riding new horses, and it didn't matter what I told him. Some people you can kind of give them direction and they pick right up on it and they listen to you. And other people, you might as well be talking to the wall.
Now, how is she to catch out of the field and stuff?
Well, she's usually right there.
Okay.
She wants the attention.
Okay.
She wants to get out and play.
And go. Well, I may just stop this and get tips on